forum in which we will be discussing Congo's conflicts and problematics during the 20th century till now. The members of this forum are Paula Cisneros, member of the United African Society, Alejandra Delgado, ambassador for Peace Talks in Africa, Cecilia Gonzalez, historian of the Harvard University, Andres Gonzalez, journalist for the Africa Today, and I, Donají Madrigal, member of the United African Society.
The Democratic Republic of Congo has slowly been recovering from a conflict known as the Africa's First World War, which has caused the loss of about 5 million lives between 1994 and 2003. Even though they are recovering from this stage, they are still plagued with violence in some states.
And what has the fighting been about?
Well, the Democratic Republic of Congo has always been a wealthy country. It's extremely rich and it's extremely big. It has a lot of minerals and it has a really rich amount of supplies. The problem is that they have never used them to themselves. They have always been used by the means of other countries. During the 20th century, the Belgian forces attacked the country and King Leopold took over and made it his personal fiefdom. In 1960s, the struggle for independence made it a really big conflict since the inner states of the country have been struggling in ethnic groups and all that, and they have been almost ending the country. In 1965, Joseph Mobutu seized power and he began making rebellions and unifying the nation. Mobutu was soon seduced by wealth and richness, and he started using the country's minerals and all that, the richness of the country, for his own purpose and remaining in power. The 1994 genocide in neighboring Rwanda hastened his downfall and helped plunge the Democratic Republic of Congo into the deadliest African country in history.
And why did Rwanda's genocide affect so badly the Congo?
Well, first of all, the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, the border is very porous and stable. So after the Hutu government in Rwanda was overthrown, almost 2 million of Hutus fled to the Congo. And because the border was so easy to pass through, they were all able to arrive. So after they arrived, because they feared that the new Tutsi government in Rwanda would take reprisals against them, the new Hutus that lived in the Congo started to make alliances with the Mobutu's government. So when they allied with Mobutu's government, they started killing Tutsis that had already been living in the Congo for generations, without any mercy or thinking about it. So when the Rwanda government got to know about this, they started also attacking the Hutus that had fled to the Congo and also the Congo's army. So this created a conflict that was between the Congo and the Hutus and the Tutsi government in Rwanda. So because now the Tutsi militia was also fighting against the Congolese militia, they asked for help to local groups that were backed up by Uganda to help them overthrow Mobutu's government, and they succeeded. So when they overthrew Mobutu's government, they installed Laurent Kabila as the new president. Laurent Kabila was the one who renamed El Zaire, which was the Congo, to the Democratic Republic of Congo. And Laurent was trying to get out the Hutus of the Congo, but after he failed to do that, a new force was sent out to get him out of power too. So when this movement to get him out of power started, he asked for help to other countries such as Zimbabwe, Namibia, and they all started a proxy war in El Congo. So this war lasted for a lot of years till 2003, and it left more than 5 million people dead. Not because of the militia particularly, but because of all the diseases and starvation that was happening in El Congo. And this proxy war was just a cover for all the countries to exploit the Congo's resources, which was the initial desire of Rwanda to invade El Congo. So even though the war ended in 2003 officially, the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo is still very unstable, and there's there are still fightings in that zone.
So, has the Democratic Republic of the Congo achieved any kind of peace?
Yes, actually most of the country has now found peace and the central government has took over control of the country. The country even started to have these democratic elections in more than 4 decades, which the Laurent Kabila's son, Joseph, has been the president now.
But a proxy war between Rwanda and the Kinshasa government is still continue in the east part in 2008. A notorious Tutsi warlord that thought that he was backed up by Rwanda, the Rwanda government, waged a campaign against the Federal Democratic Republic of Congo against the Hutu. He accused the government with the FDLR.
There was a sea change where Rwanda and the Democratic of Congo worked together to combat the provinces of the FDLR. But then the Congolese failed fighting the FDLR, and they were trying to export because they were backed up by the UN peacekeepers.
Also, the deal between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda collapsed because of Kunda. Because it emerged a new group named the M23 that was led by Kunda loyalists.
All this war, there was a lot of conflict. There were assassinated, rapes, violation to the laws, and everything that lost. It also says that the Kigali supplied with the M23 heavy weapons to help the rebels, and the President Paul was against this, and all their country supplied him. The UN also says that the Rwanda rebels, the Uganda government, has helped the rebels to have done these actions.
Well, yeah, actually, the Congo accused Rwanda many times of help the M23 group that was initially led by Bosco Taganda, who is a wanted man by the Criminal International Court in The Hague. It claims that it has been given a credence for the UN to investigate the conflict.
Report where it says that the Uganda arms and people help some persons to send the troops and help the conflict continue, and the UN say that Uganda support himself by saying their hostwash, you know.
Well, and to answer your question, this region is not in peace, but it's trying to
achieve the peace. They are fighting for this, even though they are still in conflict.
Okay, so considering that this is a really terrible conflict that has caused many violence and a lot of deaths and conflict between states, what is the UN doing to help it?
So, the United Nations Peacekeeping Mission has been in the Democratic Republic of the Congo since 1999. It is one of the biggest missions, having 20,000 persons on the ground. Its purpose is to protect civilians and also to help with the reconstruction of the country. It also has played an important role between the democratic elections in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and has launched military operations against various rebel groups.
Well, the thing is that a report from 2009 said that the UN has done practically nothing to help to this conflict, since its contribution has been non-vital at all.
Yes, there also has been a report in August of 2010 in which people were accusing UN forces, saying that they did nothing to help to stop the rape of 150 women and children. So the Congolese government has said that now it is capable to maintain law and order and wants the UN forces to leave the country.
So this conflict that has been going on since a lot of years has left Congo without resources, without money, and in a state of conflict and instability that is really bad. So until the UN or other peace forces address the problem accurately and do things that are smart, to solve this conflict, the Congo will continue to be a proxy war and will continue to be a place of instability and insecurity.
I agree with you.
Well, that's all for this discussion panel, and thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
No sé.
Bueno, penguins.
Momento.
But darling,